Hi, congratulations on completing the agreement executed phase, and thank you for participating in Southern California Edison's Charge Rate Transport Program. My name is Michael Kajdasz. I'm a Transportation Electrification Advisor for Southern California Edison, focusing primarily on the Charge Rate Transport Program, and I'll be guiding you through the upcoming steps of this program from the agreement executed stage through the pre-construction document collection. Now that you've completed the agreement milestone, you're positioned at the laser pointer on the project timeline. We're entering phase C, which is the pre-construction document collection phase. Up to this point, Southern California Edison has provided most of the materials and the documentation to you. But now it's your turn as a customer. This phase is primarily driven by the customer's deliverables. And the timeline is up to you. How quickly you as a customer can quickly submit these documents and the required deliverables back to us so that we can advance beyond phase C and get into the phase D construction phase. You've also seen this phase from the program handbook, which you'll see right here, phase C corresponding to your current phase. So without further ado, let's dig into the pre-construction documents and see what will be required next. These documents are required to advance into the next phase. Soon you'll be contacted by someone from our program management office that will be sending you an email making this request. But if you'd like to get ahead of things, take a look at these deliverables. We'll be requiring a proof of vehicle acquisition. Typically, that is a purchase order containing the following items for information: the execution date, the vehicle model number and quantity leased or purchased, the expected delivery date of those vehicles, minimum of 2 vehicles within 18 months of a signed agreement. And for those leasing vehicles, we would need the lease agreement as well as the lease duration for those vehicles. Second item is the proof of charging equipment purchase. Okay, this is the chargers or electric vehicle supply equipment. Typically, this is a PO or an invoice which contains the following information: the purchase date, the make and model of the charging equipment, and the EVSE electric vehicle supply equipment unit pricing. For all on-road projects involving on-road vehicles, we will require a network service agreement. A CRT program requires the equipment is networked for a minimum for exactly 5 years. For those projects that are eligible for rebate, we'll require the rebate assignment, which is completed through the online portal. The tax forms, the W-9 for the IRS and the CA-590, respectively. And for those going the customer build path, we are going to require an e-sheet. Okay, generally an e-sheet includes the single line diagrams, the panel schedules, the electrical site plans, and the load calculations for the project. Additionally, this information will need to align with our transmission and distribution narrative that you've already been provided and follow our computer-aided design or CAD file requirements, but more on that later. Uploading documents. Step 1, go into the original link with which you submitted the CRT application. That would be www.sce.com/CRT-APP, and log into that site. You do not need to re-register. You already registered to submit the application. Step 2 is select the project site for you and the application number. Some of you will have multiple sites. Be sure to upload those documents directly to the subject project. For others, you will only have one project site and application number. Upload them directly to that site. Step 3, upload your documents directly into the portal. It's as easy as clicking on the link and then attaching a file just as you would in many other software platforms. Please note that for customer build projects, we will be requiring base map drawings and designs. These are not going to be uploaded into the portal. They will be uploaded into a designated SharePoint site separate from the portal. You will be given that link separately via email. And that concludes this stage for the SCE build project. We want to thank you for participating in this charge rate transport program. Looking forward to continue to collaborate with you on your project. For those that are doing you can exit the meeting now. For those wishing to go the customer build project, it's a little more complicated in this phase, and we'll dive into those details now. At a high level, the customer side site design process overview looks like this. Now, remember, with the customer build projects, we build everything out to the meter panel. That corresponds to the yellow area in the graphic that you see to the right. The customer portion, the customer is responsible for everything in the green to the right of that line of demarcation, if you will. The customer side designs, they're going to include the SCE facilities, which we've already provided to you in our T&D narratives already. That information includes our circuit, the location description, and the connection point of utility infrastructure. Please note, we will still require an easement for this build. Our easement for your project is going to include everything in orange that you see on the right-hand side, a 3-foot perimeter around our underground wires and equipment. With easements, no red lines or edits will be accepted. Okay, the T&D narrative. So every T&D narrative that we provide to a customer includes 5 elements. It's going to include their application name, the site address, the distribution circuit that's serving that particular site, the source, which would be the voltage and the phases of electricity, and then finally a description of the work that we will require for the utility site upgrades. The T&D narrative is developed based on the original site plan that you provided us, as well as our assessment, and for the expected load and necessary infrastructure upgrades. It's very important. No modifications to the project scope are allowed from this phase onward, including now, at this point. Reason for that is, as you can see in these 2 example descriptions, the particular load for this customer is carefully developed so that we are right size. If you've changed the scope, that means we may need to change the structures that are supporting that project, which means we are going to have to roll the project backwards and rework the assessment, rework the cost effectiveness, rework the calculations, all that kind of stuff, which in the end, it amounts to delays for your project. Okay, the site design development process steps. So you're probably working with an engineering firm, or perhaps you are the engineering firm that's working on this particular phase of the project and moving forward. So 3 elements to the development of the customer site designs. We will require a base map, a detailed site design, and a civil plan. The base map must accurately reflect property boundaries and existing utilities. These utilities should be described in the T&D narrative, which was already provided to you. And that narrative must be incorporated into the base map precisely as we provided it, okay? And it should be consistent throughout. The detailed site design, this includes the EV charger layout, the electrical plans, and the T&D connection narrative. The design must follow the same graphical standards as the base map and maintain consistent scale and orientation. And finally, the civil plan. This plan must include site building layouts, electrical drawings, electric vehicle supply equipment nameplate ratings, and annual load calculations. Here again, it should reflect the SCE facilities as outlined in the T&D narrative. A full engineering survey and utility lookup is required for all above and below ground utilities. Please also note that installation contractors are required to be state licensed and insured. All installation work must be completed by International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Union Laborers. That's IBEW Union Laborers. They must be certified through the EVITP, Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Training Program certification. Non-compliance with these requirements will result in disqualification from CRT rebates and program eligibility. Very important. Okay, if you're going this path, you must utilize IBEW union labor to build the infrastructure, the electrical infrastructure. SE will, when your firm or when you are submitting these designs to us, we are not going to accept designs that do not meet our standards. That's computer-aided design, the AutoCAD standards, or the electric service requirements, our ESRs, okay? There's two very helpful links, and I'm going to show these again later on in the presentation. These are very good, helpful links for reference purposes, especially the CAD file requirements. Okay. Elements to a successful design submittal, okay? So there's basically three elements: the data gathering, the measurements, and the drawing. And I'm going to read off this portion. Begin with thorough data gathering from sources such as city, county plot plans, utility records, development plans, and property deeds. Be aware that older documents may be outdated or incomplete. Always verify and supplement with a current site survey conducted by a licensed land surveyor or civil engineering firm. That is strongly recommended. The CAD file must be precise, geographically accurate, include all existing site features, use reliable surveying methods. All objects must align with our CAD standards, and the file must be submitted in AutoCAD 2018 format or earlier as a .dwg. Avoid cross-reference drawings, also known as XREFs, and include fixed reference points, that is tie-downs with exact dimensions. Accurate base maps help expedite application reviews and ensure proper identification of easement requirements. Follow the CAD layer naming convention and color standards precisely. More layers are not better. Submit all related content as one comprehensive file. A properly submitted CAD file is essential for developing an accurate and successful site design. The base map must proportionally and geographically reflect the current site conditions, clearly showing the location and dimensions of all existing features. It is the customer's responsibility to ensure the submitted file meets these requirements and contains the most current and accurate information. Again, there's a lot on the screen. You could probably pause it and read through it. I would highly recommend that on the bottom, well, there's three links that are given here. On the top, if you want utility data, you can access this data from the local utility by accessing the website, which is provided in the top paragraph. And then if you want the CAD file requirements, it's very important. Access that, as well as our ESRs. With those three sites, that will be a very good reference material to complete your site design. A few final thoughts before the submittal. Make sure to have your site plan included, your EV site plan included. All information, including callouts, are provided on the model space. Again, files are clear from XREFs, data links. So one-to-one scaling in AutoCAD. The narrative is mirrored on the charging design. Charger count, mounting method, project addresses are all consistent throughout. Bollards, gate, driveways are indicated on the plans. Both new and existing equipment are depicted in the plans. And again, it's all of our utility information is consistent with our T&D narrative. Common reasons for base maps to get kicked back would include missing center lines, missing curbs, gutters, sidewalks, streets, missing panel location, missing the existing SE facilities, and missing the vicinity map. Again, this is all, there's a lot of information required for these base maps. That's why it is highly suggested that you work with architectural and engineering firms to submit an accurate base map. At a high level, base map might look like this. Zooming in to the base map properties, it would specifically call out items that were already mentioned, the SE existing transformer in this case, the proposed service meter, which is a 480, 277 volt, 4-wire, 400 amp main with a proposed step-down transformer down to 120 volt, 150 kVA, and a proposed distribution panel of 600 amps. Also, just for illustrative purposes, we're showing various property features that are shown, such as the tree, a water vault, wheel stop, existing concrete pavement, existing building, existing concrete. Should also show any underground buried utilities, electric, water, gas, etc. And that concludes the Phase C. So thank you for your partnership in your project. Work on getting those deliverables together. Again, this particular phase is incumbent upon the customer to providing that information to us. So the faster you can get that to us, the faster we can get your project moving on to the next phase. Appreciate your time, and thank you very much.